Dear students, you are welcome back to Shivarajan's teaching room, STR. We have been dealing with the male reproductive system. Today in this episode, we'll be discussing about the female reproductive system. Look here, the female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, external genitalia, and mammary glands. Look at this list once again. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, external genitalia, and mammary glands. Look here, a pair of ovaries. One by one we will look at this. A pair of ovaries. The ovaries are located in the lower abdomen. On either side of the uterus. This is the picture of the uterus. And these are the picture of ovaries. So there is a pair of ovaries located in the lower abdomen on either side of the uterus. And they are the primary sex organs. The ovaries are the primary sex organs. When we were discussing about the male reproductive system, I have told you that testes are the primary sex organ in males. So what do you mean by primary sex organ? The organ that produces the gametes and the sex hormones are the primary sex organs. So in females, the ovaries are the primary sex organs because the ovaries produce the female gamete or the ovum or egg, and it also produces the female hormones. So the ovaries are the primary sex organs. Now we'll see the ovaries. The ovaries are a pair. They are seen in the lower abdomen on either side of the uterus. And they are contained there in the position by ligaments which are connected to the walls of the uterus and also to the body wall. So the ovaries are connected to the body wall and the walls of the ovary by ligaments. So the ovary remains there itself. And the ovaries are 2 to 4 centimeter, 2 to 4 centimeter in size. So what is the size of the ovaries? 2 to 4 centimeter in size. It's oval in shape. It is covered by an epithelium. The ovaries are covered by an epithelium called tunica albuginea. So remember this name. The ovaries are covered by an epithelium. And what's the name of the epithelium? Tunica albuginea. So this membrane, this black colored membrane is the tunica albuginea. And inside the tunica albuginea is the ovarian stroma. What is ovarian stroma? The total structure inside the epithelium is the ovarian stroma. And it has two regions. See, the red colored portion which is in the outside is the cortex, and the blue shaded portion in the middle is the medulla. So the ovarian stroma has got two regions, the external cortex and the internal medulla. So what do you know about the ovaries? Ovaries are a pair of ovaries are there. They are situated in the lower abdomen on either side of the uterus, and each ovary has the size of 2 to 4 centimeter, and it is covered by an epithelium called tunica albuginea, and the inside thing, the inside the tunica albuginea is the ovarian stroma. The ovarian stroma has got two regions, the cortex, the external cortex, and the internal medulla, and it produces, the ovaries produce the female gamete or ovum or egg, and also it produces the female sex hormones. Now we will see the oviducts. A pair of oviducts. The oviducts are also called as fallopian tubes. So the ovaries, the oviducts are 10 to 12 centimeter in length. The oviduct is 10 to 12 centimeter in length. It extends from the ovary to the uterus. So this is the oviduct. This is the oviduct. It is also called as the fallopian tube. This is the ovary. So it extends from the ovary to the uterus. And what is the length of it? About 10 to 12 centimeter in length. And if we see the different parts of the oviduct, we can see that there is a funnel shaped broad region. There is a funnel shaped broad region near to the ovary, and this portion is called the infundibulum. So what is infundibulum? The funnel shaped portion, near the ovary is called the infundibulum. And after the infundibulum, it has a swollen part. This swollen part is called the ampulla, and the ampulla leads into a very narrow tube. It's called the isthmus, and isthmus portion is connected to the uterus. So the oviduct has a funnel shaped broad region near the ovary. It is the infundibulum. The infundibulum leads to a swollen part. It is called the ampulla. The ampulla leads into a very narrow tube called the isthmus. So this is isthmus. So this isthmus, this ampulla, this is infundibulum, and the infundibulum has got finger-like outgrowths. The infundibulum has got finger-like outgrowths, and they are called the fimbriae. So these are the fimbriae. And the fimbriae is always moving. The fimbriae is always moving like this, and it creates a movement in the body, fluid in the body cavity. And because of this movement, the ovum released by the ovary is drawn towards the fimbriae, and the fimbriae capture it. So what is the function of fimbriae, or what are fimbriae? Fimbriae are the finger-like projections in the infundibulum. It is always moving, and it creates a movement in the body fluid inside the body cavity. And due to this movement, the ovum released by the ovary is attracted towards or drawn towards the fimbriae, and fimbriae capture the ovum. So the ovum released by the ovary is captured by the fimbriae, and when it is taken inside, the infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus, etc. are having ciliae inside it. Very minute hair-like structures like this, ciliae inside it, and the ciliae move towards the inside. The cilia is always moving towards the inside. So what happens? The ovum captured by the fimbriae is passed forward. It passes the infundibulum, then it comes to the ampulla, and it comes to the isthmus. When it comes to, so this is the ampulla, this is isthmus. So the point where I am touching is the ampullary isthmic junction. So this is the ampullary isthmic junction. So what is ampullary isthmic junction? The joining point of the ampulla with the isthmus is the ampullary isthmic junction, and the ovum released by the ovary is captured by the fimbriae and passed forward, and it rests. It comes to rest in the ampullary isthmic junction and waiting for the sperms, and the fertilization takes place in the ampullary isthmic junction. Now the uterus. So this structure, this bag-like structure is the uterus, and it has three muscular wards, or it has got three muscular layers. The outer layer is the perimetrium, the middle layer is the myometrium, and the inner layer is the endometrium. So the uterus is a muscular bag. It has got three muscle layers. The outermost layer is the perimetrium, the middle layer is the myometrium, and the innermost layer is the endometrium. Then now come to cervix. What is cervix? The uterus is connected to the vagina. So this broad tubular portion is the vagina, and this is the uterus, and this is cervix. So what is cervix? Cervix is a very narrow tubular portion that connects the uterus to the vagina. So what is cervix? Cervix is a very narrow tubular structure which connects the uterus to the vagina. And vagina is the broad tubular opening, the broad tubular opening that opens outside, that opens towards the outside, is the vagina. And the cervix and the vagina together called the birth canal. The cervix and the vagina are together called the birth canal because it is through this tubular structure the baby is pushed out during parturition, or normally we call as delivery. So what is birth canal? Or what makes the birth canal? The cervix and the vagina together make the birth canal. Then the external genitalia. The external genitalia and the mammary glands we will discuss in the next episode. So this episode we wind at this point, that is, we have discussed the different parts of the female reproductive system: a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, external genitalia and mammary glands. These are the 7 parts of the female reproductive system, and out of this we have seen a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix and vagina, and external genitalia and mammary glands we will see in the next episode.